Alright, first off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom to the brothers and highways and byways pushing this word down sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the helps, the hopeful elect. Shalom. This is the brother Iroam from a James Jamaica camp, coming to another quick lesson. And this lesson, Lord willing, I'll entitle it Jerusalem, a mother weeping for her children. And what inspired this lesson was the book of Baruch chapter 4, which we're going to get into. And pretty much, I was looking on the conversation within or the whole structure of Baruch 4 and how it read so beautifully, and it was very edifying to me. And pretty much, with Jerusalem being the physical land, even though it's a land, everything has a spirit, trees have spirit, you will go, even your house has a spirit, sometimes you're in a house with, you alone in the house is a different vibration or a different spirit, there's a group, there's a different spirit, so, everything is spiritual and there's spiritual around, and pretty much what it shows in Baruch is the fact that, as a mother that would weep for our children, for her children, pretty much that's how, symbolically it's Jerusalem, crying for her children of us, what happened to us as a nation, as a people. And, and it's a beautiful chapter, and we should definitely bear this in mind, we always say that, look, we should, as it says in Isaiah, that we should, as a matter of fact, let me get that precept real quickly. Give him no rest. We always say we want to get out of this place. We want to get, be placed back into our land. And pretty much, our country is pretty much yearning for us as well. We want to get the hell out of Babylon. The scripture say that the whole earth will rejoice, even the trees and the animals will rejoice when this devil gets taken down, and the rightful rulers who are the Israelites, Lord willing, we're of the elect of the nation of Israel. We have the hopeful elect, hoping to receive the salvation and that honor and that glory from Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, or through Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. We would like to obtain that, being in our rightful place. Right? So this is Isaiah 62 verse 7, and give him no rest, meaning the Most High, till he establish, until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. Why is that? They're heathen within our land, they're destroying our land, they're doing a lot of filth, and conducting themselves, disgusting, I can't even find the words, but pretty much, they're in the land doing all type of wickedness and abominations, and really and truly, as the similitude goes, she's pretty much holding strangers. It's just like, even what I can compare it with is like even slavery, when the Israelite woman had to put aside, her own children, just to nourish those the Edomite babies, at times. So right now it's something similar where, Jerusalem, the land is pretty much holding strangers, and they aren't deserving of her, they aren't deserving of what she really has to offer, and they're pretty much breaking her down, being there. So let me get back to Galatians. This is Galatians 4 verse 27. It says, 26, it says, but Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. So as it is, you have these black unconsciousness, you have a lot of Jakes talking about they want to get back to the motherland, they want to get back to Mama Africa. The Rastas out here in Jamaica always say, time to go back to Mama Africa and Ethiopia and all of that. Yes, but really and truly, nobody wants to go back to Jerusalem. But the hopeful elect, the children of Israel, the children of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, the true and sincere believers, we want to get back in our land, We want to go back to the land of Israel. We want to see, Jerusalem be praised once more, because right now, she's weeping and she's without her children. All right. So let's get to it. This is Baruch chapter 4, and I'll start at verse 1. It says, "This is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die." And pretty much, Moses pretty much told us that within the book of Deuteronomy. The curses are in verse 28, but in chapter 30, Moses stated about this day I put before you life and death, choose life that ye may live. So let's see what happened. Right? It says, "Turn ye, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated," which is pretty much the same thing that Moses said. It says, "Give not thine honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation." All right. It says, "O Israel, happy are we, for things that are pleasing to God are made known unto us. Be of good cheer, my people, the memorial of Israel." All right. And it just goes to show, we had those what was profited about us. We had the chiefly we got the knowledge, wisdom, understanding, law, judgments, and statutes, that was given unto us through from Yahweh Shemashah, through Moses. And pretty much afterwards we had inherited the land, so all that was all of that was for profiting. So verse 4 makes a lot of sense. It says, "What, O Israel, happy are we, for things that are pleasing to God are made known unto us." Right? "Be of good cheer, my people, the memorial of Israel." And we know that even the word Zion goes back to what? Memorial. Because Zion is pretty much, a memorial or a reminder, of the greatness of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Pretty much us, our conduct, our actions, us fulfilling and obeying the Most High, that is how, that's one of the ways how we show the presence of the Most High. In Deuteronomy chapter 4, it tells us that, should we keep the laws and judgments and statutes, the nations will say, what a wise and understanding people that had gotten so near unto him that he would give them their, his laws. And I'm paraphrasing these scriptures. Brothers can find them and put them on the comment board. I just don't want to make this lesson too drawn out, right? Verse 6, it says, "Ye were sold to the nations, but not for your destruction, but because he moved God to wrath, ye were delivered unto the enemies." So it goes and it shows, how good it would have been, or what goodness, or how profitable it is to be obedient unto the Most High, and the fact that we were actually, we had the land. But it says, what ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because he moved through the Most High to wrath, you were delivered unto the enemies. And that is the thing, we broke that covenant. So when the Lord pretty much, put the curses upon us, it wasn't for our destructions, but rather for our destruction, but rather for our punishment. All right. So we pretty much, angered him, just as how you may anger a king being in a land, you may anger a lord being in his house or being within his district or jurisdiction, and just as being a father, being in your father's house and angering him, the punishment actually comes along. Verse 7, it says, "For ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils, and not to God. Ye have forgotten the everlasting power that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you." All right. So, even today, in today's day and age, we call out to our people and try to deliver, and we deliver the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushai unto them, but still, up to this day, they still provoke him to anger. We know that it's prophesied that the unbelievers will actually stay in their words and there's going to be an elect. But up to this day, they still provoke Yahweh Shem Yahushai with their deeds. And the same reason why they were punished, or why we were punished to begin with, it's the same reason why the unbelievers will not be delivered on this go around. Right? It says, "Ye have forgotten the everlasting power that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you. For when she saw the wrath of God coming up on you, she said, Hearken, hearken, O ye that dwell about Zion, God had brought upon me great mourning. So, just when you can think about it, it's just like, you know, a mother who you know, back then when a father would scold their child, even now, a father sees his son that transgress against him, the mother knows that, look, he's about to get a serious ass whooping, and even though she would like to not see it, or would like to would have been able to shield him, or seen the wrath to come, right away, she's grieved within herself, because she's gonna have to see her children cry, or her son cry, because of the discipline of the father to come. For those who grew up with both mother and father, you may be able to relate. Where when the mother see that, you're about to get your ass whooped, and it's like, yo, I can't help you. You just gotta deal with it, right? So let me read that again. Verse 9 says, For when she saw the wrath of God coming upon you, she said, Hearken, O ye that dwell about Zion, God had brought upon me great mourning. Why? It says, For I saw the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting brought upon them. So she knew what the punishment was going to be. Pretty much, we the covenant, the blessing and the cursing, that was the agreement. So pretty much, as I said, just like a mother know how you're gonna get beaten, or the wrath that you're gonna face, right away she's pricked within her heart, right? It says, For I saw the captivity of my sons and daughter, which everlasting brought upon them. With joy did I nourish them up, but sent them away with weeping and mourning. Right? So she knew we're going to be separated for a time, because that's part of the punishment. He said, Let no man rejoice over me, a widow, and forsaken of many, who for the sins of my children am left desolate, because they departed from the law of God. And she understood why we were being punished as well. So right there and then, it's like, when you read this, you can tell that pretty much our heart is being broken, right? It says, They knew not his statutes, nor walked in the ways of his commandments, nor trod in the paths of discipline in his righteousness. Let them that dwell about Zion come, and remember ye the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting had brought upon them. For he had brought a nation upon them from far, a shameless nation, and of a strange language, who neither reverence old man nor pitied child. And that sums up Esau, Edom, in just perfectly. Sums up Esau, Edom. And if you think it's a funny thing, read about the siege of Masada. Read about how going the history of when the Romans actually came up against the Israelites that were in the land in 70 AD. And pretty much in more recent times, read about some of the atrocities that took place within the transatlantic slave trade. From the ships being docked, to the journey to the so-called New World, or the journey on the ships to when they actually docked again, making it to the plantation, the life of the plantation, the various time periods, and how they got more sophisticated with their methods, and how they actually did things. Read that, and you'll see if it doesn't sum up Esau, Edom, in a nutshell. Verse 16 says, These have carried away the dear beloved children of the widow, and left her that was alone desolate without daughters. So she considered herself what? A widow. And she considered herself desolate, empty. Because what? She's pretty much, is like she said, look, I've lost everything. I now have nothing. It says, but what can I help you? So just as I said earlier, it's like, a mother seeing the child being disciplined, knowing that they can't intervene, or they shouldn't intervene. It says, but what can I help you? For he that brought these plagues upon you will deliver you from the hands of your enemies. And she knows who's in control. So it's just when the father decides that it's time for the punishment to end, right? So the same one that's bringing the pain is the same one that's going to bring, the deliverance, or the Lord. Yeah, as I said, the Father knows when to stop the whooping, right? It says, "Go your way, O my children, go your way, for I am left desolate." So with a heavy heart, she just has to send them away, and she's just telling them, to well, let me just continue. It says, "Go your way, O my children, go your way, for I am left desolate. I have put off the clothing of peace, and put upon me the sackcloth of my prayer. I will cry unto the everlasting in my days." So pretty much she sent her children away crying, and pretty much she's just praying and begging the Heavenly Father, to help them, to strengthen them, pretty much bring them back. She's pretty much, begging for them. At times, when you're young and you're getting that belt, sometimes even your mother would probably come in and try to, cry on your behalf, either to lessen the punishment, or to stop it altogether, right? It says, "Be of good cheer, O my children, cry unto the Lord, and he will deliver you from the power and the hand of the enemies." And she go forth and tell us what to do as well, so that so that we'll be delivered, to how to pretty much, for lack of a better term, how to stop getting that ass whooping. What would make the Lord stop, which is what all of this, asking for deliverance and crying unto Lord, is to remembering him, repenting, remembering him, and pretty much submitting ourselves unto him as we should have done to begin with, because that was our transgression, right? It says, "For my hope is in the everlasting, that he will save you, and joy is come unto me from the Holy One, because of the mercy which shall soon come upon you from the everlasting, our Savior." So she knows that, it's going to turn out good in the end, but she still prays, right? It says, "For I sent you out with mourning and weeping, but God will give you to me again with joy and gladness forever." Yeah, and that's the thing. One of the reasons why, sometimes, within the household, a mother may not, a mother will just know that they're going to get the whooping, and then afterwards, when they have learned their lessons, then, they can come to me, and I can, quote unquote, baby them and nurture them, or, let them feel loved again, or whatever, however you want to put it. As we all know, fathers are the disciplinarians, and mothers, more have a nurturing mindset, you know. Right, but God will give you to me again with joy and gladness forever. So she should like to have us back. It says, "Like as now the neighbors of Zion have seen your captivity, so shall they see shortly your salvation from our power, which shall come upon you with great glory and brightness of the everlasting." So yeah, even those who have punished us, she's letting us know that, look, you're going to overcome them. They're going to see your glory, because the same Father that pretty much punished you, he's going to put you on high, after the whole process has been completed. "My children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from God, for thine enemy had persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction, and shalt tread upon his neck." Which all the nations are going to be broken down, but so much more even Edom, right, which is the so-called white man. "My delicate ones have gone rough ways, and were taken away as a flock caught of the enemies. Be of good comfort, my children, and cry unto the Heavenly Father, for ye shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you." And this is why it's important for us to call upon Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. We should constantly pray, constantly to ask for salvation. If you really, if we really want to get up out of this bitch, as we proclaim and as we say all the time, then we should pretty much be praying day and night to get the hell up out of Babylon. Pray day and night for the strength, to overcome and to be found worthy, to be a member of the elect, praying for that salvation, right? Verse 28, it says, "For as it was your mind to go astray from the Most High, so being returned, seek him 10 times more," making our bodies a living sacrifice, right? "For he that had brought these plagues upon you shall bring you everlasting joy with your salvation. And then it goes to show, it's pretty much saying that, look, your father doesn't hate you. He's pretty much doing this for your own good. He's gonna, even though you were punished, he's actually gonna build you up again. And you're definitely gonna be returned unto me, right? It says, take a good heart, well, this is so verse 29. That's Jerusalem's pouring her heart out, so to speak, right? Now he's now receiving an answer. She also said, well, let no man rejoice over me, up in one of the verses above. Verse 30 says, take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. Miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoiced at thy fall. Miserable are the cities which thy children served. Miserable is she that received thy sons. And chiefly, who received our sons? Where did the Israelites serve captivity predominantly? In America. Over here in the West, in the Americas, but chiefly, the Mystery Babylon the Great, America, right? Which is spiritually known as what? Sodom and Egypt. Right? So miserable are the cities which thy children served, and we're scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, so everybody's going to get it, right? It says, miserable is she that received thy sons. And being in America, that whore, pretty much mistreated us, just like within the she just like a terrible how do I put it? A woman that has some children in her care, give them weed, give them crack, have them drinking alcohol, just abusing them, exposing them to a lot of shit, pretty much a broken home, and an onslaught of abuse and torture. That's what that whore did unto us, right? It says, for as she rejoiced at thy ruin. And reason why is what? Because what she's pretty much saying that, look, I have your children, for she rejoiced at thy ruin, and was glad of thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. And we know that, look, the prophecies that these missiles will fall on America, and it will be a habitation of what? Unclean spirit and devils and unclean animals. It's going to be a complete desolation, according to prophecy. America will be uninhabited, after those missiles drop, right? For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. And we're getting really, really close to seeing that, We're getting ready to see the fall of America through many ways. She's already falling, she's already fallen morally. She's already she's falling in regards to infrastructure. When you look at America, cost of living going through the roof, drug addicts everywhere, homelessness, turmoil, a lot of things, even and then we have to see, we're actually seeing where the war is being brewed, and we also know that prophecy states that she will be destroyed. So she'll definitely, her pride will be turned into mourning very shortly. Right, verse 35, for fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time. So that's the fall of America. That's the fall of America. O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from the Most High. So even her husband will even the Most High, are within this scenario. The father is actually gonna comfort the mother, right? It says, lo, thy sons come, whom thou sentest away, they come gathered together from the east to the west, by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of the Most High. And that is it, receiving mercy by the understanding of through Yahweh Shem Yahshai, by being given the understanding of this doctrine, and pretty much walking within this doctrine, and applying as much as we can apply, through faith, pretty much combining our faith with works, pushing towards that mark, praying to Yahweh Shem Yahshai to deliver us, through the word. That's how we're going to be delivered. We're delivered through this word. We're delivered through this doctrine. And that's why it's important to study the scriptures. That's why it's important to apply the scriptures. And that's why it's important to teach the scriptures, because this is our ticket out. This is how Yahweh Hashem Yahushai will return us to Jerusalem, who is the mother of us all, through this doctrine. And she according based on what we just read, she's weeping. She wants us back. She really wants us back, and she's telling us, look, call unto the Father, call unto Heavenly Father, ask Him to deliver you, and endure and be of a good heart, and seeing as we disobeyed, seek Him 10 times more. She's pretty much saying that, look, she's instructing us, and giving us a way out. Just like when you're younger and your mother may tell you about things that will get your father angry, if your dad is angry, and the best way to she's like, look, your dad is already upset because you did so and so and so. Don't do anything else to get him upset. You know what? Just go clean the yard before he has to say anything to you, or hurry up and go wash up before so and so. Don't let him have to talk to you about this or that because he's already pissed. Or do this and that, so that he may give you a chance, or so that you can get back in his good graces. So we see all of that throughout this chapter. And this is why I said I think it's a very beautiful chapter. So if it's a case that we truly want to get back to Jerusalem, if we truly want to be placed back within our own land to receive our inheritance, if it's true that if we truly want salvation, if we truly want to be one with Yahweh Hashem Yahushai once more, then this is the way to go. Giving diligence, to make our calling and election sure through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right. So that's pretty much all I had. Hope this was edifying. Once more, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways, pushing His word in all sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the helps, the hopeful elect. Shalom.